So welcome to today's Conversion Express tutorial, where in 15 minutes or less, you're going to learn a strategy, that lead generation strategy that you can apply to your website in minutes. It's meant to be simple, doable, bite-sized for you solopreneurs. I know you're wearing a lot of hats here. So today's topic is how to write engaging questions so your prospect is agreeing with you. That's what you want. You don't want them disagreeing with you. You want to get them going, yes, I agree. Okay. How often are you seeing, are you reading, are you hearing this phrase, ready to, with the question mark, right? Ready to go back to school, ready to get in shape? Are you ready for Christmas? And what is often an answer we hear to that question? No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get in shape because getting in shape's worse. I'm not ready for Christmas yet. I got a ton of things on my list. I'm not ready to go back to school. I don't want to go back to school, right? Now, any question that requires a yes or no kind of response, this is called a closed question. And asking closed questions actually increases the chances that your prospect's going to disagree with you, which you don't, right? We don't want them disagreeing with you. So, especially in the kind of environment that you are on, which is in the online environment, when people are reading your ads, when they are reading your emails, when they are on your website, it's anonymous and you do not have an opportunity at all to turn that no into a yes. You have no opportunity to counter argue their reply, right? They say no, and then they're going to move on. And you didn't even know that there was a no out there because you're not online, right? You're not online in real time where you're having real conversations with people. So I want you to remember this. This is really, really important, is that people are forming opinions about you and they're actually deciding whether or not to do business with you just by what they see about you online, how you're speaking, what you're saying, what you're doing, all this kind of stuff. And so the only time you find out that people were checking you out is when they actually get on your calendar or they reach out to you, right? Prior to that, there's people checking you out all the time and they're saying no. But you don't know about that, right? You hear the yeses. So, what you need to do is create as many opportunities as possible to help the prospect align with you before they're even starting the conversation with you. Because by the time they started a conversation with you, they're already warmed up to you and they're ready to, possibly move forward. Definitely a warm lead at the most, right? Or at the least, the very least, they're a warm lead. And so you really want to get in alignment with them before they're reaching out to you because there's lots of objections going on. So you never want to ask a no yes question, especially if you are not sure that the answer is going to be yes. Okay, so we want to try and avoid those kind of closed questions. So instead, you want to ask an open-ended question. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So starting the question with phrases like these: what if you could? What if you would? What would change if? And how could? These kind of questions that start with these phrases, they start to open the mind of the prospect to them thinking, okay, what is it I really want? Actually, I really do want this outcome. We're reminding them of the desires that they already want in their own mind, and we're redirecting them away from their fears, their worries, their concerns, their objections. Okay, let me give you an example. So this was on HostGator's site. They are an SEO company, and they have here, ready for game-changing SEO help? Okay, now I would be like, no, I'm not ready because this sounds like expensive and time-consuming and iffy whether or not it's going to get me the results I want. So actually, no, I'm not really ready. Right? Okay, we don't want to, again, do not ask yes, no questions and avoid saying ready to, ready for, anything like that, because it's probably more times than not going to be, no, I'm not ready. Okay, so instead, what if we're using one of those four possible phrases? Here's one of them. If we said, what if your web pages showed up in the top 10 search results. Now that question has redirected me away from my fears and concerns and objections and has redirected my mind to my desires, my outcomes, the possibilities, right? Here's another question that can do that same thing. How could ranking in the top 5 spots impact your revenue? Now that's like, wow, yeah, I could see, yeah, I could get more business. I got more business. This is what how I could expand my business, or I could hire more people. I could give myself a raise, whatever, right? Just start thinking about the possibilities. Here's another question we could ask instead of the ready for is, what would change if you ranked first above all your competitors? Oh, that would be amazing, right? So the great thing about those, again, all we want to do is open our prospects' mind to possibilities. That's all. And doing that, hopefully, will then influence them to press a button, get on a call, send us an email, get on our calendar, download the freebie, whatever it is, right? So if we just want to release the worry and objections enough to get them to take actions, redirect their thoughts to something positive, an outcome they really want. I want you to remember this, again, is super critical, important, is that you have absolutely zero control over the conversations or the thoughts that people are having in their minds while they're checking you out and going on your website and all that stuff. And for that reason, you want to use every opportunity you have to engage them to work with you by using open-ended questions. That is really important. And so now that you know how to ask the right kind of questions to get prospects agreeing with you, I want you to check this video out next, because sometimes getting the right kind of questions can be tricky. And what conversion copywriters will do is use something called voice of customer data. And voice of customer data can not only help you get and capture those right kind of questions, but it can also help you to convert leads from your visitors by using words that your prospects are already using, taken verbatim from their mouth onto your web copy. So if you want to find out how to do that in the simplest way possible, check that video out next.